Well, let's talk to Lincolnshire actor Colin McFarlane. You'll know him as Police Commissioner in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, as well as loads of other things. And firstly, you're a fan, and you went. I mean,
Yes.
you've followed the whole journey.
My journey started with the replay against Ipswich because I'd met a couple of people on the train on my way to London. I mean, like you do, about a year ago. They work for a local company in Lincoln called Software Europe, right? Nice people. And they went, hey, I understand you're into football. Do you ever want to come watch a match in our box? And I went, yeah, all right. And I was following the FA Cup progress and thought if they could just get to the third round, they might get a big team. Then they had the match against Ipswich, and when they got to the replay, I went, I'm coming to the next game. So watched that game, did the announcements before the game.
Incredible.
And then did, which I thought was, only afterwards I thought was a bit crazy, but I literally at one point did the cube voice and went, so, did all the names of the teams, and when I went, Ipswich Town, and I went, contestant defeated. I thought, I hope they are defeated, otherwise it's going to be my fault. And they did, obviously. So then I saw all the fans coming out going, you are lucky mascot, you've got to come back next week. So I went, okay. So come to the next FA Cup game. So I went to Brighton, and we had a Brighton fan in the box with us, and I was thinking, oh. And he said, no, it's all right, we've got the centre back, so it's the second team, so you've got a chance. And we were going, yeah, but you're top of the championship, we're going to get stuffed. And they went 1-0 down. We were like, okay, it's going to be 4 or 5-0. This is really depressing. And then we got the penalty. Then it went to 3-1, and we were like, oh my God. And then it was like, right, we're all now we bonded as a family. So we went, wherever we're drawn next, we've all got to go. And then when it was Burnley, we're like, Burnley, but we wanted a glamorous one, but okay, we'll go. So I was up at 6, go up to Burnley for the lunchtime kickoff, and then there was like, I think 3,200 Imps fans, but we were in a little box at the other end from the Imps fans, so other fans who couldn't get behind the goal had to go and get a box because they wouldn't give them any more seats, which was outrageous, because I think Ipswich were lovely, gave us 5,000 seats, Burnley gave us 3,000 seats, and there were empty seats, and so that was a real shame. But the ones that were there, so if you look on my Twitter account, you'll see pictures of the guys in the box next to us who are Lincoln fans to our left. There's a guy in a white shirt with his hands up like this, and they were singing with the Lincoln fans because they knew all the songs. And then, which is the slightly unsavoury part of football, unfortunately, the Burnley fans from up above, people were going, is it raining? Is it raining?
Oh,
and they were spitting on them. And they were spitting on them. So we could go back into the box. It was I didn't get spat, but you could go back. But that was just a shame. This is before we hadn't scored. This is, during the first half.
Yeah.
And then, they continued singing and the security came down, but it was fine. And then the crazy thing was, I've just been telling people today, is that the wife, I've got to give Jo a mention, because Jo, the wife of Neil Everett, who's at Software Europe, Jo, before the game, says to all of us, I know this is crazy. She'd been to all the matches with us. She went, I know this is crazy. She always gets very emotional about the football. And she went, I had a bit of a dream last night. I know it's crazy, but I had a bit of a dream, and I dreamt that Lincoln scored in the 89th minute and won 1-0, and we all went, yeah, right, well, let's hope that happens. You can't make that up. Yes, Jo, and she's an Arsenal fan. Can you believe it? So when the draw happened last night, she's texting me going, oh man, and it's Arsenal. Oh, so she's gone. She always apologises when we go to the matches because she goes, I'm going to scream, Colin. I scream a lot during the games. But when she had a dream about that. So we're now all praying that she dreamed something similar before the next, but we don't know. Is it going to be Sutton? Is it going to be Arsenal?
I know.
Obviously, you hope it will be Arsenal for obvious reasons, but it'd be amazing if it's Sutton, 2 non-league teams. Great.
Now, you've been in demand, haven't you?
Yeah.
From other places, not like in this country.
Know. I think, you know what, it's social media, and we talk about not being a global economy anymore. Hello. From literally the other side of the world, I get a tweet saying, been following your tweets about Lincoln City, what an amazing story. Would you like to come on the radio and talk about it? So ABC Radio Canberra said, we'd love to do an interview with you. So last night, 11 o'clock at night, when I'm kind of about to go to sleep, they're going, do you mind doing a little interview down the line? We'll do a Skype, and did a wonderful, it was great, really nice guy, did a great interview, and they, it's reached Australia. That's the point.
Isn't that staggering?
Yeah, so
are you surprised?
People who don't follow football will be completely shocked, but I've been trying to tell my wife since the beginning of the FA Cup, going, look, if Lincoln can get to the third round, you just never know. And she doesn't follow football, so she's going, what? When I went to the Ipswich game, she heard the cheers, and we live uphill. She could hear the cheers, and the same again for the Brighton game, and she's going, wow. And then at Burnley, the Burnley fans said, these are the loudest away fans that we've ever had. Literally, they were brilliant. 3,500. Redmond filled the stadium. So what's lovely now is that you're having chats with them online, and it's a wonderful kind of camaraderie. And so now every time I meet an Imps fan, they're going, "You've got to come to the next game." So I will be at the next game.
Do you think that the club's success does extend beyond football?
Yes, definitely, because, I'm literally was in the gym earlier today, and people are talking about it as you're going around the gym. Did you see the match? And there was one guy talking to me who's not even a football fan; he's a rugby fan, and he said, "I found myself tuning into Radio 5 Live because and I'm not even a football fan." He said, "But I just thought they can't do this, can they?" So I think it's amazing. And I, was on the first game, the Ipswich replay, they very sweetly said, "Colin, as you're here, could you interview the players afterwards?" So I got to interview the match winner, Nathan Redmond, lovely kid, and then got to interview our cult hero, Reedy. So he came up to the mic. He's wonderful. I literally was looking for him, going, Can I interview Matt Reed?" And they were going, he's eating. And I went, come on. But this guy who does not look like a footballer, he's got the ball patch, he looks like he's just come out the pub, and yet every game I've been to, he's virtually been man of the match. I mean, he's brilliant. And you didn't see it all on the TV, but we were in the first half, we were at that end, and you could see that constantly Joey Barton was pulling, elbowing, and even beyond the stuff where he should have had the red card. And you're going, what's going on? And we were just kind of going, just as football fans, all the 50-50 decisions were going against Lincoln, and we're going, this isn't fair, what's going on? And I think that coupled with, not letting enough fans come to the game, we're all thinking like, was this all against Lincoln? It's just sort of stacked up against us. And I went, come on, karma. Karma will mean that we will get the right outcome. And I was going for a draw. I said, if we can get a draw and a replay, awesome. But nobody. So now when people are going, well, yeah, but if it is Arsenal, obviously that's the end of the road. And you go, is it? You don't know, because we shouldn't be here right now. So you kind of go, well, anything can happen, and it probably will. But the irony, if I'm allowed to say, yes, because they're working with BBC, but the irony is that I'm also doing all the promos for the FA Cup for BT Sport. Yeah. So how weird is that? Literally tomorrow, I arrive in London tomorrow afternoon, I'm going straight to BT Sport. This happened after the last FA Cup game, because I said, can you tell us yet who's going to be playing, who's covering what? And they went, well, BBC get first pick, so they've gone for Sutton, Arsenal. And he said, but we get the next pick, and we're going for Lincoln against Burnley. And I went, can I tweet it? He went, not yet, it's not official yet. So,
do you have in your voice like this kind of favourable intonation?
What, for the football?
For Lincoln, yeah.
For Lincoln,
when you do
I
your
will
voiceover.
do. Well, at the moment they were sort of having me as a fan, which is kind of ironic. So I was doing lots of, we're on our way to Wembley kind of stuff. It's the magic of the FA Cup, the romance of the FA Cup. And I'm doing all of this, right, on the promos, and then I'm living it. It is the romance of the FA Cup.
I love
And I cannot believe, I say that long journey to Burnley, we were really thinking, why am I doing this? I've got lines to learn. I've got other stuff to be. What am I doing? We're going to get beaten. Why am I going? And it's like, because all the fans want you to go. And literally, every time I go to the ground now, Lincoln fans come up to me going, I'm so pleased you're here. You're our lucky mascot. You've got to keep coming. And so you go, okay, right, I'll go to the next one.
See, that's commitment now,
That is commitment. I'm a proper fan now. I went away. Went to an away game. And there's another away game.
Scarf.
I know,
everything.
Scarf, everything. So the next one is near my house in London. If I say the next one, if it's Arsenal, Sutton's a bit further away.
Yeah. Well, Colin, thank you so much for popping in.
Pleasure,
and
my pleasure.
We'll find out tonight.
We'll find out tonight.
What happens?
BBC Radio Lincolnshire.